Hi, I'm Paul Holden, Youth Minister at Knoll Parish Church and Cafe Coordinator at Penny's Youth Cafe in Knoll. I'm here today to take you on a virtual tour and I'd love for you to see how God does immeasurably more than we could ask or imagine. I believe that Penny's is a good example of a pioneer ministry because it was set up by Knoll Parish Church to create a safe place for young people in this local area to meet with their friends, to meet with Christian volunteers, and to find out more about the Christian faith. My experience of setting up Pioneer Ministries began over 20 years ago. I was a student in Swansea University and a leader of a youth church, working in Mumbles where young people were often tempted into underage drinking and drug use. And we decided to set up a youth cafe to create a spirit-filled alternative for the young people. The young people designed the cafe. I was responsible for leading the worship and the discipleship, and we had an amazing team in place making the food, making the drinks, running the recording studio, and we had managers to keep the centre sustainable. The great news is that Red Cafe continues to run today and is a great blessing to the community there. God called me from Swansea onto Jakarta in Indonesia, where I was a teacher in a Christian school. And we set up a youth church with a sports focus. I was responsible for the worship, the teaching, and leading some of the small groups. And we had a great team in place to be able to run the events every week. From Jakarta, I was called to Birmingham, where I worked with Urban Devotion and learnt a lot about the importance of prayer and missional communities. While I was working with Urban Devotion, I was also working for TLG, the Christian education charity, and we worked in partnership with the Aston Salvation Army Church to be able to set up a centre for young people who were at risk of exclusion from school. I worked really closely with the team there, and we worked collaboratively to support children, young people, and their families. I worked really closely with Andy Thomas, who is now a pioneer minister in Chelmsley Wood, and I've stayed in touch with Andy so that we now work together in running the services in Chelmsley Wood. I take young people from Knoll over to Chelmsley Wood to be able to lead the worship and to run the activities and help with the talks. And Penny's is a centre which is run by volunteers. We have an amazing team of drink makers and cake makers and cafe mentors. We have a number of cafe managers, and we run Youth Alpha here, which is really popular with lots of young people. We have home groups that meet every week. And Penny's has been really well supported by the PCC. And we have a subcommittee made up of really committed Christians who really want to see the mission of Penny's fulfilled here in this area. It seems fitting to finish with the verse that I started this talk with. Ephesians 3 verse 20 and 21 says, "Now to him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, according to his power that is at work within us, to him be glory in the church and in Christ Jesus throughout all generations, forever and ever. Amen." And our prayer is that God is glorified through Penny's Youth Cafe. Thanks for listening.